Imagine someone says something designed to upset you. A comment about your appearance. A dig at your success. A question meant to make you doubt yourself. Your heart rate increases. Your jaw tightens. Your mind starts racing with responses, comebacks, arguments. And the other person sees it. They see they got to you. And they file that information away for next time. Now imagine the exact same situation, but you feel nothing. Not that you're pretending. Not that you're suppressing it. But genuinely, the comment doesn't reach you. It bounces off like water off a surface that doesn't absorb. How different would your life look? I used to think that was impossible. I thought being affected by people was just part of being human. If someone says something hurtful, of course you feel hurt. But then I discovered something that changed everything. It wasn't about building thicker skin. It was about understanding something fundamental about how our brains process social threats. And once I understood it, toxic people stopped having power over me. Here's the key insight. Your brain doesn't distinguish between physical pain and social pain. When someone criticizes you, ignores you, or betrays you, the same regions of your brain activate as when you burn your hand on a stove. It's called social pain. And it's real. But here's what most people don't realize. Pain is a signal, not a command. The signal says something might be wrong. It doesn't say you must react right now. Most people skip that distinction. They feel the signal and they immediately act on it. They defend. They attack. They explain. They prove themselves. And that's exactly what toxic people are counting on. Today, I want to share 5 shifts that help me break this pattern. They're not about becoming cold or distant. They're about reclaiming your emotional autonomy. Number 1, delay your reaction by 10 seconds. This is the simplest technique, and it's surprisingly effective. When someone says something that triggers you, your first instinct is to respond immediately. There's a biological reason for this. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that detects threats, activates before your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles reasoning, has even caught up. You react emotionally before you can think logically. Here's the solution. Count to 10 before responding. That's it. 10 seconds. In those 10 seconds, your prefrontal cortex catches up. Your emotional spike begins to settle. You move from reaction to response. And here's the surprising part. After 10 seconds, you often realize you don't need to say anything at all. The comment that felt devastating a moment ago now seems small. Not worth your energy. That single pause can save you from hundreds of regrettable reactions over a lifetime. Number 2, stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. This was the hardest lesson for me. Because I believed that if I explained myself clearly enough, anyone would understand. I was wrong. There are people who don't want to understand you. They want to win. They want to be right. They want to keep you in a defensive position. And every time you explain yourself to them, you're giving them exactly what they want. Your energy. Your attention. Your emotional involvement. Here's a question I started asking myself that changed everything. If I explained this perfectly, would they change their mind? If the answer is no, stop explaining. You don't need everyone to understand you. You need to understand yourself. And once you do, other people's inability to see you clearly becomes their problem, not yours. Number 3, separate facts from stories. When someone upsets you, there are 2 things happening. What actually happened, and the story you're telling yourself about what it means. Most of the pain doesn't come from the event. It comes from the story. Someone cancels plans. The fact is they canceled. The story is they don't value me. They're avoiding me. I'm not important to them. Your boss gives you brief feedback. The fact is they sent a short email. The story is they're angry with me. I'm about to get fired. I'm not good enough. Notice something. The facts are neutral. The stories are where the pain lives. And here's the liberating truth. You can choose a different story. Not by lying to yourself, but by recognizing that you don't actually know the story yet. Maybe they canceled because they're overwhelmed. Maybe your boss was in a hurry. Maybe neither has anything to do with you. When you separate facts from stories, you regain control over your emotional life. Because you realize that between the event and your reaction, there's a space. And in that space is your power. Number 4, stop carrying emotional conversations alone. Here's a pattern I see all the time. Someone does or says something hurtful. The other person spends days, sometimes weeks, replaying the interaction in their head. They imagine what they should have said. They craft perfect responses. They rehearse arguments that will never happen. Meanwhile, the person who hurt them has moved on. They're not thinking about it. They're not losing sleep. They're not replaying anything. Who's suffering here? The person carrying the conversation alone. Here's something I want you to remember. If someone can upset you and then go about their day like nothing happened, you're the only one still in the fight. And the only way to leave the fight is to stop fighting it alone. The next time you catch yourself replaying an interaction, ask yourself, is this person also replaying this? Are they spending energy on this right now? If the answer is no, stop giving it yours. Number 5, this is the most important one. Build an identity that doesn't need their approval. Here's the root cause of most emotional pain. We care too much about what certain people think. Not because we should, but because some part of us believes their opinion determines our value. And as long as that's true, they have power over us. The only lasting solution is to build a sense of self that's independent of external validation. This doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with a simple shift. Instead of asking, what do they think of me, start asking, what do I think of me? Instead of seeking their approval, seek your own.